Okay, let's dive right into this explainer. We're tackling a massive intimidation factor head-on today. Everyone is buzzing about agentic AI, but honestly, if you're a product manager or really anyone outside of hardcore software engineering, the barrier to entry feels just impossibly high. Well, today, we're breaking down insights from startup founder and product executive Sachin Rekhi to show you exactly how to wield one of the most powerful tools available right now, which is Claude Code. So we are definitely busting the myth today that tools like Claude Code are only for developers. I mean, we've all seen the movies, right? The hacker typing a million miles an hour into a black screen with that glowing green text. That text-based interface, the terminal, it just feels totally off limits if you don't know how to code. But as we're going to see, non-technical product managers are using these exact quote-unquote scary terminal tools to build absolutely massive time-saving workflow shortcuts. Seriously, no programming degree required to build a system that just works tirelessly on your behalf. Here's our quick roadmap for today's explainer. First, the agentic AI era. Second, where AI actually shines. Third, real PM workflows. Fourth, setting up your tools. And finally, number 5, building your AI skills. All right, section 1, the agentic AI era. Moving beyond chatbots, because honestly, chatbots were really just the tip of the iceberg.
Up until now, we're all pretty used to opening a browser tab, asking a chatbot a quick question, getting an answer, and moving on. Agentic platforms, though, things like Claude Code, they do something entirely different. They are systems that autonomously execute entire multi-step workflows. They manipulate local artifacts, which is just a fancy way of saying they read, edit, and create actual files right on your computer, like your markdown text documents. And the kicker here is that they do this locally, which means zero vendor lock-in. You're not trapped inside some proprietary app. You own your raw files, and the AI is literally just acting as your lightning-fast executive assistant, continuously organizing your work and automatically improving over time.
Section 2, where AI actually shines. Consensus versus non-consensus. Look, before we get super carried away and try to automate literally everything we do, let's ground ourselves in reality. We need to know exactly where AI absolutely thrives versus where it kind of falls flat on its face.
The crucial takeaway here is that AI is amazing, like unparalleled, at consensus-driven tasks. Since it's trained on the collective knowledge of the entire internet, it absolutely excels at things like market research, synthesizing interview data, doing heavy data analysis, or critiquing a strategy against known best practices. But if you're looking for a bold, non-consensus vision, say a totally novel strategy or an opinionated bet, kind of like Elon Musk deciding to build a high-performance Tesla when the rest of the world thought electric cars were basically just glorified slow golf carts? Yeah, human judgment is still absolutely required for that. AI gives you the absolute best average of what has already been done. You, the human, have to bring the unique taste and vision to do what hasn't been done yet.
Moving right along to Section 3, real product manager workflows. Putting agentic AI to work. Let's actually look at what these consensus-driven tasks look like in the real world.
So Sachin Rekhi has actually built dozens of these automated workflows using Claude Code. Let's break them down by category. For strategy, he has the AI read his strategy documents and actively critique them, basically playing devil's advocate. Or he uses it to automatically grab competitor pricing updates. For design, he's using it for interview synthesis and building interactive prototypes. Over in data, instead of filing a ticket and waiting 2 weeks for a data team, he just asks a question in natural language, and Claude executes the raw SQL queries and spins up dashboards. And for execution, it's autonomously generating meeting agendas and writing release notes just by analyzing recent code commits. It's handling the heavy lifting across literally every category of his job.
Now, what's truly mind-blowing here is how AI chains tasks together to automate the really tedious stuff, like customer insights. Just imagine this. You just wrapped up 10 back-to-back Zoom interviews. Exhausting, right? Well, Claude Code can use a little command line tool called Whisper to automatically transcribe all those video files into text. Then, using a specific template you provided, it summarizes the exact pain points and pulls out specific customer quotes from every single one of those transcripts. Finally, it synthesizes all 10+ interviews together to tell you, hey, here are the recurring cross-interview patterns and feature requests. It's taking days of mind-numbing work and condensing it into minutes.
Okay, Section 4, setting up your tools, the straightforward PM toolkit. Time to demystify the tech setup so you can actually start doing this yourself today.
I promise you, it truly is this simple. 3 steps. Step 1, create a completely normal folder on your computer, call it Project Hub or whatever you want. Step 2, right-click that folder and select Open in Terminal. Remember, the terminal is just a text-based window, nothing to be afraid of. Step 3. Copy and paste the 3 simple install and login commands from the Claude Code website. There's the whole shebang. Opening a terminal is not a technical hurdle. It is basically just a blank canvas where you tell your computer what to do. Paste those commands, hit enter, and boom, Claude Code is running locally on your machine. And honestly, the best part about all of this? The cost. Aside from a standard $20 a month Claude subscription for the agentic AI itself, your entire workflow infrastructure is completely free. You just need a text editor to view the markdown files the AI creates. Things like VS Code or Obsidian are totally free and highly recommended. And, if you don't feel like typing out massive blocks of instructions, you can use built-in or freemium voice input tools like WhisperFlow to just talk out loud and dictate what you want the AI to do. It's a remarkably accessible toolkit.
All right, Section 5, Building Your AI Skills, Creating Autonomous Workflows. Let's get into the actual step-by-step framework for building your very own automations.
Okay, hold up. Before you go automating everything, run it through this quick checklist to make sure it's actually worth your time. First, does the AI have a clear speed or comprehensiveness advantage? Second, is this a time-consuming, highly frequent task that's just eating up your calendar? Third, and this is a big one, can the workflow actually be broken down into discrete, repeatable steps? And lastly, does the task require limited human judgment? Because if a task requires constant, unpredictable human intuition, it's a terrible candidate for automation. But if it's repetitive and highly structured, oh, it is absolutely perfect. When you are officially ready to build, here's the absolute best part. You don't write a single line of code. Step 1, you simply detail the workflow steps in plain human language. You literally just write out, Step 1, do this, Step 2, do that. Step 2, you decide on your context strategy, meaning how is the AI going to get the data it needs. Step 3, you choose skills as your workflow primitive, which just means you're saving these instructions as a reusable tool. And Step 4, you shape the final output by giving the AI a template or some best practices so it knows exactly what the finished product should look like. Now let's talk about Step 2 for a second, that context strategy. If the AI cannot see your data, it obviously can't do the work. You have a few options here based on reliability and speed. The absolute highest and fastest method? Local markdown files, like saving your docs and meeting notes right on your hard drive. Next, you have command line tools like Whisper for transcriptions, which are highly reliable. Moving down to medium speed, you've got MCP servers pulling from Notion or Slack, or APIs accessing data via custom code. And all the way at the very bottom, the browser agent. This is where the AI actually opens a web browser and clicks around websites on your behalf. It is the slowest method by far, but hey, if you need super accurate live information like scraping competitor pricing pages, it absolutely gets the job done.
Now, if you are looking at all this and thinking, okay, this still sounds a bit complicated for me, get ready for the big aha moment. Sachin Reiki, who remember has built dozens of these complex workflows, explicitly said, I didn't write a single one. Claude Code did. You do not write the complex markdown skill files yourself. You literally just open your terminal, prompt Claude Code in plain English and say, hey, create a skill that takes a GitHub link and writes a release note, and the AI goes ahead and writes the complex instruction file for itself. It builds the very tools that it's going to use. How wild is that?
And it gets even better because it doesn't just stop at version 1. You can constantly make your skills smarter. Because you're saving your workflow outputs as local markdown files, the AI is building up a massive library of your actual work. You can use Claude Code's auto memory feature and just incrementally prompt the AI to improve its own skill code. Let's say you don't quite love the tone of the release notes it's writing. You don't rewrite the instructions. You just say, hey, read these 20 examples of past release notes I wrote, learn my writing style, and update your skill to sound exactly like me. And it does.
So, to wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a pretty provocative question. We've just seen exactly how agentic AI can totally take over your repetitive execution, your data synthesis, and all those consensus-driven tasks. It's giving you back hours, maybe even days of your week. So, if the AI is automating all the busy work, what bold, non-consensus vision are you going to build with your newfound free time? Because at the end of the day, that bold, uniquely human vision, that is exactly where your true value lies. Thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer. Now go set up that project folder and build your first automation today.